What's good? Satoshi's mom here. I'm here with Computer Blood, one of the dopest artists in the space, somebody who has absolutely taken off, and his work is being shared on the timeline all over. It's literally all over my timeline. I love your work. I think it's absolutely dope what you've created with Skulls of Lucifer. I love your glitch. It's fucking sick, and it's absolutely hard-hitting, dope vibes. So I'm stoked to have you here, man, especially with the wrapping up of the Skulls of Lucifer project. So congratulations on that, and welcome to the pod, man. Thanks for coming through.
Hey, thanks for having me, buddy. Yeah, it's been a wild time, and yeah, it all ends tomorrow. I think it's like 24 hours. What time is it now? Well, 22 hours, and then 666 is done. Someone's gonna take it home, and technically it's the end of the collection, but we still got a lot of stuff to do. As part of the collection too, we throw out a lot of like communal sacrifice pieces. We've even done some guest artist skulls where they try out the timer. I'm going to try to figure out a way to carry on the collection so it's not just over, you know. We're going to figure out a way to keep things going. How we're going to do that, I'm not sure yet. There's some ideas floating around, but we're just having fun with it. From the beginning, man, it's just been about fun, and it really kind of came about, kind of developed as an homage to Sam Spratt, and then I wanted a daily drawing practice to help me get better, just making that transition from traditional pen and ink and paper to a digital format. And it all just kind of fell into place, and it just grew. And it came about during a time where things were a little dead in the space. And it's just kind of this natural evil that has crept up in all of us. So I'm just having a hell of a time, man. It's awesome.
Dude, that's so sick. Like, you are just enjoying the process. No, like, Ponzonomics. No, like, okay, guys, like, let's pump this type vibes. Like, it's literally so pure. It's purely evil and fucking sick. And, like, I love the way that it developed so naturally. Like, and the reward for it as well has been, now everybody knows who you are, and your auctions are going for incredible prices. Like, what has it been like over the process of it evolving? Like, did you ever run into any struggles in the project of like, holy shit, like the timer's finishing, I haven't finished the piece? Like, did any pieces go over the timer? Like, how has it been creating this and watching it evolve over the last year?
I mean, really, it's become kind of a staple of my daily routine. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life when this is done, because it's just kind of like wake up, start my day, set a timer, and pump out some skulls. And it's been kind of a process. Not only am I getting better drawing, but it helps me process whatever else is going on in the world. You can kind of see the transition of the skulls, the technique, some tricks that I learned to stay under timer have evolved, but also it kind of reflects. It's kind of like almost like a journal entry. You can kind of see, because a lot of it is stream of consciousness. So you kind of see where I'm at, you know, in my life, my personal life, just the way that the skulls are, what they reflect. You know, at first look, you might be like, wow, this guy's fucked up. But yeah, I mean, when you just let yourself go and let it flow, it's just, you know, what happens. And honestly, I kind of just pieced it together as it came about. Like, it just started with a timed thing. And at first I wasn't even thinking it was going to make it to 666, but after a few skulls and after it started gaining some momentum, it only felt natural. But yeah, I mean, I guess there was when it first started, there were some times when gas fees were super high, and I planned on minting these daily. And, you know, they weren't popping off the shelf at first. So there was a time when I was, you know, losing money just to get them out there. But I was like, fuck it. This is what I'm doing. If I lose money, I don't care. I just want to get it out there, and that's what we're doing. And luckily, you know, everything has corrected, obviously. And I had, you know, with the open edition frenzy, I guess over a year and a half ago, I had some creative funds set aside because I had one of those that popped up pretty big too. So I was willing to lose money just to get this collection out there. But it's been quite successful, and, you know, it's surprising, and it's really helped me grow in so many ways. we have an awesome community that's been built around it. Like you said before, it just kind of like this natural, easygoing way about it. We have like, our group chat's pretty chill, pretty strong community of other artists and collectors, super supportive of each other. And just in general, it's just kind of like this, this beautiful evil. Like we said, it's been amazing.
Is the group chat on Twitter or is it Discord?
We have a Discord, and it's been kind of neglected lately. So right now, a lot of the action's going on Twitter. We might try to move it back to Discord soon. I don't know. It's just kind of go with the flow. When I'm really busy, X seems to be a better means to communicate. But I do miss a lot of stuff that's posted in there. So we kind of go back and forth, but for the most part, it's on X.
Yeah, I love how it's like so easygoing and so natural how it's unfolding, because one of the biggest things is how people will say, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, this is on the plans, and then you either have to say, okay, this isn't going to work now, we're going to pivot and like publicly make these changes, and it really weighs down the artist, I think, a lot. Like, at least for me, other people that I've spoken to, like, the way that you're doing it, I think, is absolutely the best way and the most sustainable, because it's on the fly.
Yeah, and it a lot of it too was just trying to celebrate art making, hence the timer, just free flow. Sometimes it's hard to know when an artwork is done, and a lot of times with NFTs and our whole community that we have, it's almost like the artwork comes second place to how you market it, how you put it out there, everything else, the mechanics behind it. So this just wanted to go back to strictly the process of art making. The timer helped with that, and just letting it flow. And when you're done, there are times with some skulls where I would go back and make, well, it needs one tooth there, or like, let's put one more eyeball right here. But yeah, it's just the process, strictly art making, let it flow, dump it all out and move on to the next one and just grow with it.
Damn. So inspiring, honestly, man. Like, I have looked at your collection all throughout it growing. I haven't gotten a skull, I have to admit, but maybe that time will come in the right time. But like, I admire what you've done in a big way, because I think that inspires people to really focus back on the art. It inspires artists to get out there and create and see, what they can do, and to trust the process. So, like, what have you learned over this process, like day one versus now? Like, what has come about of it as like learnings?
I mean, a lot of that's just kind of like second nature learning. I don't know if that's a phrase, but just mostly trusting myself, creating digitally. That's the main thing, and that was my main goal, was to get more comfortable in that process of creating digitally and capturing my style that I can kind of translate from the physical artworks to a digital atmosphere. So that's the main thing that I learned, and I've learned to trust myself a little more with the execution, knowing when, like I said, knowing when a piece is done, and honestly, I think it kind of helped me not give a fuck as much anymore. Like, I was stressing myself out with some stuff, and this just helped me, like, dude, you're fine. Just chill the fuck out. Just draw. You're having fun. Just have fun. So that's the big thing, was just letting it flow, and just become subject to the process. Don't overthink anything. Just feel it, enjoy what you're doing, and don't take it for granted. And yeah, and it's just been amazing to connecting with some other artists and some of the collectors. We've just like built something just out of nothing, basically, and it's pretty cool. Like, we didn't go into it thinking this is what it's going to be like a year ago. I didn't think we'd be chilling right now talking about it. But I think that's the whole happy accident part of it. So embrace the accidents.
Damn. I love that bit there. That's like, you explaining how, like, just chill the fuck out. Like, you know, let it happen. Like, don't get so stressed out about it, because there's so much for an artist to think about in this space. It's like, when do I post? Like, oh, nobody liked my post. Like, should I delete it? Like, should I post at a different time? Like, should I take it off reserve and just hold it? Like, all these things that don't relate to the art, you know? And what you've done is you've put that focus on the art, and it just works, and it's sick. And the concept with the timer, man, is fucking nuts. So that last piece, you literally did that in 666 seconds? Because that's insane.
No, well, each frame, more or less. Well, so you'll see, I got a little crazy with the last 10 skulls.
Of course.
But each frame are the characters that were done. That was done on timer. But actually compiling the GIF animation in each frame, no, it took much longer than the 666 seconds, which comes out to be a little less than 12 minutes. No, so yeah, the more with that thing, that one's 21 frames. Yeah, there'd be impossible to do that in that time frame. But all the other ones, yeah, it's pretty. You set the timer, and I would allow myself like the background. You know, I'll play with different background colors to help it pop, or actually typing out each one says the skulls of Lucifer. So I don't time that stuff. But the meat of all that, yeah, it's you just let the timer rip and you do it. I will say the hardest ones to do were the stream of consciousness ones, where I didn't really know what I was going to do beforehand. Some of them are thematic, like there's the Dead Artists series where I do the artists in their style. There's the Dead Writers, and there I kind of had, you know, a portrait of their face or the style that they created. And I tried to recreate. When you have something that you need to portray, I found that easier because I knew exactly what I needed to draw, more or less, and I wasn't just kind of free flowing it. When I'm free flowing it, it's like, oh shit, this doesn't look anything like a skull. I need to wrap it up, make it look like a skull real quick. And you know, a lot of them didn't make the cut. I would look at it afterwards and be like, I can't mint this. So there might be something I do with all the rejects, you know, straight up do like the devil's rejects. So yeah, but yeah, the timer is a challenge, but you get used to it, and then you learn tricks and shortcuts on how to, you know, navigate that. But it's intimidating at first, but you get the hang of it. And I encourage, you know, some of the guest artists tried it out. They did an amazing job, better than me in some cases. But yeah, I encourage, it doesn't have to be for 666 seconds, but having that timer kind of puts your brain in a different spot and you create a little differently. And then you can take some ideas that are generated through that process and then apply it to another piece that you can spend more time on and really think about it. But so many ideas for new 1/1s or even different whole collections came about while I was, you know, drawing these skulls up. So it sparks creative ideas in other areas. So I highly recommend everyone try it out.
It's fucking sick. I love the idea. I recently have been like trying to figure out like why I sometimes feel I can't stick to one thing. Like sticking to one collection for 666 pieces for a year. And you've done works outside of that too, which I have collected some of those actually. And I love the style that you've got. It's so hard hitting. I love that you don't hold back on the glitch. Like it's so digitally native and fucking dope. Like during the process, you mentioned how like you didn't know you might finish at some points. How did you get through that? Did you just push through and just say like, fuck, like I'm just going to do this. I said I was going to do it. Or like, what was the mental process behind that?
I mean, it never felt like, oh, I got to get up and go to work, or I got to get up and do this run. It didn't feel like that. It just became part of my routine. And if I didn't do it, something was missing. So I never really went into it thinking about it like, oh, I can't do this. I mean, there were some times, where I would be in a creative block, but that's the whole point of the collection. You just do whatever on the timer. So if I was in a block, it's like you have no excuse. You just set a time where you just do whatever the fuck you want. So it helped, instead of creating these blocks, it actually just helped me get over those. And there just wasn't, it's hard to find anything negative to come out of this, honestly. It never felt like a burden or like, oh shit, I got to do this skull tomorrow. No, it was exciting. It was always like looking forward to it. And once you get deeper into it and you get to explore all these like mini series within, it just opens up so many more possibilities. Like I got to explore so many styles and things that I was interested in. There's like amoeba skulls where I got to mess with microbiology stuff. And, there was dead rock star skulls. Before I draw the skull, I got to blare, Alice in Chains or whatever while I was listening to. So it just incorporated everything and became a huge part of my life. So yeah, I don't really see any obstacles that was generated by it. If anything, it helped me overcome obstacles.
That's so fucking badass. I love that. Super cool. Yeah, man. Like I said, and it's very inspiring. Like I love to see it. Like I love to see it all come together. And your work is definitely like been elevated as a result of this as well. I think like it's been put on a lot of people's maps just to see like, holy shit, this guy's actually doing this shit and like executing this all the way through. And the community around it too has become very strong. I know quite a few of the collectors in the circle. And yeah, man, it's just like it's incredibly inspiring to another artist, at least like from my perspective, just to see the conviction, the follow through, the execution of it all, and the learnings that you've got from doing it. Like, do you have any advice to artists that would either want to follow a similar path or just like from the things you've learned, any advice to other artists out there on the journey?
You just got to persevere. I mean, it gets hard. I know it gets fucking hard. And I wasn't even able to create full time until the past couple years, really. And I spent 20 years plus of my life working shit jobs and stressing out, being unhappy, filling that void with substances and just whatever the fuck. So you just got to persevere, try to find a way to create as much as you can each day. And that's the best we can do. And I feel like I got lucky. I worked my ass off, but I also got lucky. So embrace the luck. And if any opportunity presents itself, you just got to fucking jump on it. Don't let it get away. I took advantage of some of the events, big events that happened in the digital art world, and just kept riding, get on the bull and fucking ride it.
It's fucking dope. I love it. I know we're kind of crunched on time slightly, so I do want to make sure you've got enough time. Are we good right now with time? Or I know you said 12:30-ish, right?
Yeah, we got a few more minutes.
Okay, cool. You just let me know.
If I forget my daughter, then I'll be in trouble. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, absolutely not, man. Yeah, so like ultimately, I think the timeline of it all, watching it unfold, really, really cool. The lessons are powerful. Like, is there anything next? I know you kind of teased the beginning of the call here, like that you're planning on working on stuff, but at the same time, like letting it flow. Is that really the roadmap as far as like what you're doing? I mean, I guess you wouldn't call it a roadmap, of course, because it's kind of, happening on the fly, which is the way, like I said. What's next for Computer Blood? Like,
I mean, I've got so many ideas that I'm playing with, and it just kind of, let's just see where I apply my time. I'm working on multiple projects at once. And when the time spent on a daily basis just working with the skulls, when that's gone, I'm going to fill with something else. So that, and a lot of that is just going to feed off whatever develops. I've had a collection in mind for a couple of years. I even did some research, studied abroad a bit, trying to gather ideas for it. I don't think that's quite ready yet still. I will say, I guess I could reveal it. I think the next thing might be, I'm going to do something local, something that pays homage to where I grew up, where I live now, deep South Appalachia, deep in the hollers. Can't really tell by my accent, but yeah, that's where I'm from. I can turn it on anytime I want now. But yeah, I think I'm going to do some like weird redneck tarot cards or something, and just figure out a way how to get those out. And I might do them traditional pen and ink style, then convert those digitally. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but it's something rednecky, tarot-y. It's not so satanic this time around, but it'll get dark at times. So yeah, so maybe something like that. And I've got a few 1/1s that I'm working on, playing with new styles, just trying to grow. And yeah, we'll see what develops. I'm still I surprise myself at times. So yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I love that, man. Like, surprising yourself is all what it's all about, I think. Because if we're just kind of like tired with what we're doing and we're not surprising ourselves anymore, what are we really doing? I mean, get bored with it. And it's key to not be bored. It's key to be excited.
Yeah, you just gotta polish the little antenna on top of your head and see what comes to it. Receive those transmissions and shit it all out. Hopefully people like it. If they don't, at least you got it out. You got to get the shit out. So,
Facts.
I got a lot of shit. I'm full of shit, man. I gotta constantly gotta dredge it out of yourself. But I mean, we have the best job. It's the community is awesome. It's rare that I know just locally in like the traditional art scene here, there's a little bit of feud between some of the artists, but here with us, like our online community and the artists, we all feed off each other, share stuff, support each other. It's insane how lucky we are to have that support system. And that's another, going back to advice for artists, just build your support. And if you're supporting your artist friends, they're going to support you back, and you're going to feed off each other's creative energy. And that's all you can do. And like I said, we have the best fucking job, and I'm just happy to be here. I'm going to be here as long as I can be. I might crawl into a hole every now and then and spend time for myself and get out some of the darker ideas, but it's it's just fun. We're just having fun.
Yeah, like that dark influence. I fucking love the vibe, like I love the dark energy vibe of the work, and like all of that has always been intriguing to me, just from glitch art as a whole, like the darkness of glitch art, the intensity, the energy of that contained artwork in that little square, like it takes on a life of its own. So like, where does that come from for you? Are you like a spiritual guy? Like, and you don't have to answer these questions if you don't want to, but I'm just curious, like, are you a spiritual guy? Like, do you dabble with psychedelics or anything like that? I know you said like substances in the past and stuff, but like, where does this inspiration come from if you were to put a pin on it?
I mean, it's the evolution of the mind is a complex thing. I've definitely had some psychedelic experiences. Maybe too many in my college days. I think I took a little too far. I felt myself on the brink at times, but yeah, you have to embrace the dark side. There's a lot to learn from the darkness. I think some artists are afraid to explore that, and a lot of people don't like it, which is fine. But I find everything from humor to love in the darkness, so it's fun to embrace it. Most of my stuff has a little dark comedy twist to it. I'm not just full on, blood and gore and Satan, but not that Satan's necessarily a dark figure. He is the bringer of light. There's a lot of misconceptions from Satan himself, which that's another podcast or another another thing in itself. But no, yeah, a spiritual person. I wouldn't. I don't prescribe to a particular religion. No, I wouldn't call myself a hardcore atheist either. I'm just, I don't fucking know. I don't know. There's a lot of interesting things out there. I can say that. I do find that there are some very interesting things that spin out of traditional religions. There's some amazing stories. There's some moral lessons there. But I mean, if you go back and you read even some of the Bible, there's some really fucked up stuff in there. Like, it's just take it with a grain of salt. So
Truly.
it's all fascinating to me. I wouldn't say religious, spiritual, maybe. There are spiritual moments in my life if I'm, out in the woods, maybe eat a little fungus. There's something that happens there. I don't know if it's all self-contained or if it's a shared thing. I don't know. I think there's some things yet to be revealed, but that's only for me to wonder, and I don't know, might figure it out one day when I become a skull myself.
Dude, yeah. I agree. I agree with like pretty much every single thing you just said. Like there is a lot of misunderstandings around Satan, Lucifer, and the Bible, and like, religion, and it's a whole other topic we could spend an entire podcast talking about for sure. And like when I say spiritual, I really mean like just kind of energy. I mean like believing in energy, transference. And like I have a biology background, so like I studied quantum physics and different things like that. And it just, those things I think are very interesting. And like I see kind of those thematic elements in your work. So super intriguing, super dope. I definitely want to be mindful of time. I know you said 12:30.
Yeah.
So if you want, we can wrap it here. I think this is a cool point.
Sure, man.
But because I don't want to push you over, but on time. But basically, man, I would love to have you back on if you ever wanted to come back on, talk about a future project, something you're working on at a later point. You're always welcome. Doors always open, man. It's been great chatting with you today, getting a peek inside your mind. And even if it was a bit of a shorter one, usually we go like almost 2 hours with most guests.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah.
Well, we could do this again.
Yeah,
after all this craziness settles down,
for sure.
let the dust settle a little bit. Let all the blood seep back into the cracks. We'll see who comes up. Right now, Bats is on top, and we'll see who ends up with the final. They also get a physical piece, so I get to go back to doing some physical work. So, yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, man, it's been awesome talking to you, and I hope we can do it again.
Definitely, man. I would love to. It would be sick. And who knows, maybe the bid will end up at 66.6, man. That's the next stop.
Shit. Yeah, that would be evil, but I don't know. I mean, it's already so much more than I could have asked for. So, I may the most I don't know what the word is I want to say, but yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Hell yeah, dude. I love it. Keep doing your thing, dude. You're just getting started, I think, in this whole aspect of it all. Like it's still so early in all of it. Like digital art is so early. Like all of this is history being written. And I love that you're going with the flow with it all and taking it day by day. That's super inspiring to me as an artist. And it soothes my mind in a way to hear you, the way that you explain it. So I hope that all the other listeners out there too, like they really take that in, and also that it can inspire them too, because it's powerful stuff. So thanks again for coming through, man.
Hey, thank you, man. And yeah, if it's inspiring, the collection was worth it. That's what it's all about. Art making, artists. Let's all live our dream, buddy.
Let's fucking go.
All right.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate you, bro. We'll talk soon.
You too. See you, man.
Later, man.